So the final thing is talking about 2018 and what we can expect. So is the final Bannerlord devlog of the year. I guess they're missing out next week because it's Christmas and everything, so they'll probably be taking some time off. And before I do this, please don't spam the comments with release jokes. They've been all done. They're not even funny. It's just cringy. And try something new this time. That might help you to get some likes. But anyway guys, it is that time of the week for a Bannerlord devlog, and they actually do touch on people waiting for the release date, and they're giving some hints for 2018, which is exciting. But first, let's get into what this devlog is about. Now, this is one of their weekly devlogs. I think they alternate each week. They have a faction that they go over and analyze, and then they talk about one of the developers on the team. And this one is the lead programmer, combat/animation/network/AI/////. No, it is not slash, but it is a guy with an amazing beard. So I guess that kind of makes it up, does it? That is a beard that could fell a nation. I mean, this probably won't be too exciting for some people, but they do talk about some cool added cloth systems. I mean, who doesn't want some cloth systems? But in all seriousness, I really like what we've seen in some of the trailers and stuff. Just the way the clothes are on the body, it's so individually animated. It just feels so realistic and natural to the game, and it just makes the game so much more fluid and alive. It puts you into this simulated world, and it immerses you in Calradia. Unlike Warband, Bannerlord will have some very interesting and specific type animations in the game. There's something called inverse kinematics, which I didn't know what it was before I read this devlog. Now, it's apparently a system of animation where you go not from how a particular bone is rotated, but from where a particular body part needs to be. Then the animation is built from that point backwards, which I think is an interesting way of doing it. Maybe it's going to make it more fluid. I'm not completely sure of how it works, but I guess it makes it a little less buggy if you have a set point of where you're going to finish off, and then you just fill in the spaces in between. That's how the animations are going to work. So that's probably a nicer way of doing it. But we also have some nice GIFs. Yes, I know people think it's GIFs. Apparently it's GIFs, but GIFs just sounds so much less stupid. But we got some cool GIFs here of a guy slashing his sword. He is really having a go at that air. I wonder what that air has done to him in the past. Probably left him at the age of 12. Now we do have confirmation of chambering in the game, and that will be in the game. That is, I quite like that. Yeah, they're taking out the whole fainting where you spaz around with your sword, but chambering is something that I think is quite important to a melee game, as it is the point where you step up from basic combats to actually being able to do something pretty cool with your swords. If anyone doesn't know, it's where you attack at pretty much the same time as the other player or your opposition, and you sort of block them and attack at the same time. That's sort of a basic way of saying it. I don't know the best way to describe it, but you're just going to have to deal with what I've got. So yeah, another small tweak that they're adding with some animations is in Warband, you used to, when you were firing a bow, the arrow used to leave the quiver as soon as the player shot the bow. It was kind of a janky automation sort of thing. But now the arrow is actually taken from the quiver first, and then it's put into the bow and fired from it. So that's quite a nice way of doing it. It reduces the time ready to take to shoot an arrow, and it just gives you that quicker, snappier, and more realistic look of animations. And of course, timing and speed is all the advantage of the bowman. You kind of have to get that right if you want to play it well, especially if you're fighting moving targets. It sometimes works better firing a bow if you actually hit the target. I found out that actually missing a target doesn't tend to do too much damage. Now the AI is something weird that they're talking about now. They've not really mentioned AI much apart from them being a little bit clever in the campaign map, but actually in terms of when you're in a battle with the AI and you're fighting with them, they're going to be pretty good. And I don't say that light-hearted. Apparently, they are nearly as good as some of these professionals that we've seen in some of Mountain Blades. god, they're going to be so tricky to beat. But of course, you can cater that to how you want to play your play style, and you'll be able to change them to cater your needs. If you're an experienced player, maybe just crank up those difficulty settings, but if not, you can keep them on the potato mode, which isn't the official name for it, but I think that's what I'm going to call it from now on, since it's scientifically the word used for screbs. Once again, we got another gif here of a nice weapon push. I guess this is a similar thing to the kick. So instead of kicking, you're going to be pushing the weapon at them. Now, kicking is still there. Obviously, we've seen that in gameplay. That's once again confirmed in this devlog. But this is just another animation, another fighting style, which probably does a little bit less of a stun to the enemy than a kick does. But I would suspect that it obviously has a chance of blocking the enemy's attacks, maybe because of course you're holding your weapon now, but it'll probably be a lot quicker than kicking, and of course you as a player is more stable when you're pushing them instead of going on one foot, because I've found out in the past that that's not the most stable way of beating someone in combat. Like I said, this is going to be the last devlog of this year, but in 2018 this is what they are saying, and of course Bannerlord is getting better and better, shaping up to be the great game that you deserve. 2018 is almost here, and we expect it to be even more exciting, but we can't tell you more as of now. God. Oh, they really do love building up the hype and then shutting it down. Oh. Do you know the funny thing is, so many people being annoyed at Tailworlds for, you know, not releasing Mount and Blade 2 Bannerlord, but in fact, they made a mistake. I admit that. They did make a mistake announcing it too early, but from what I've heard is they were actually planning on getting it out in 2013, 2014, maybe 2015. I'm not quite sure of the exact specifications, but they started almost from scratch again. They didn't like what they made, so they started it again, or something along those lines went wrong, and that's why it's been pushed out so far. That might have been out of their control, but nonetheless, they made the mistake of announcing it very early. And so many people, which I find quite entertaining, are making these Bannerlord jokes. Yeah, it's all good fun and jokes. Oh, it won't come out. All my grandchildren will enjoy this game. Yeah, haha. Quite funny. But actually, people are saying the hype's dead. Like, no one cares about this game anymore. Stop making blogs. Well, actually, for the people that do like watching these blogs, which is obviously anyone that's watching this right now. So, actually, yeah. But, in fact, as soon as Bannerlord is released, everyone that's been saying they don't care about Bannerlord anymore will care about Bannerlord. So Tailworlds know this. They know that you're not going to go away from the game as soon as this game is released. No matter how long you wait, no matter how angry you seem to them, they know that you're just going to hop back on Bannerlord as soon as it comes out. So they're not worried about that. They are taking their time and making the game that hopefully we all deserve. And I hope you guys understand the same thing, and please stop asking me when the release date is. Like, why would I know? I'm just a guy sitting on my computer who's got a really bad neck at the moment. Actually, that's a good point. I need to go and get a pillow to prop my... Oh god, I clicked it this morning and it's like... Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you stay tuned for all the dev blogs for Bannerlord and all that exciting news. Now, I do have a cool video that should be coming out, I don't know, sometime if I can finish editing it, but this is the very first version of Mount and Blade. Yes, it's not Mount and Blade, it's called War Rider, and it's basically the prototypes that they were kind of experimenting with Mount and Blade, and I managed to get and find the download for it, and I made a video on it. So if you guys want to see that, this video gets to 800 likes, I will make sure I bring that out as soon as possible. I mean, as soon as it gets 800 likes, then yeah, I'll bring that out. So anyway, guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video. But until then, I will see you in the next one.